Hi, my lovies. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your plus size queen, Regina Thura, back after a really long break from content creation. But we're back. We're back. Anyway, it's been quite an eventful year. How have you guys been? I have really missed you. I don't know, even I don't have words. Like, ile kuwa miss nimewa miss hata sijui. I don't know where to begin from. But I have been okay. I have been doing quite well. Can't complain. God has been a faithful God. I've been okay. How have you guys been? Hopefully, you guys have been doing quite fine. So as I said, the better part of my year was very eventful. So in this video, I'm gonna be sharing just a few things about, how I have been for the past few months, what made me take a really long break from content creation, why I'm even back to doing content creation, and we'll see how it goes. We'll go with the vibe, okay? So I think at the beginning of this year, I think in January, I think I made a very conscious decision to take charge of my body, my mental health, and who I am as a person. And when that happened, I took a break from a lot of things, from friends. This year, unfortunately or fortunately, I took a break from school due to something that happened in school, so I had to take a break. It was not an intentional break, it just happened. And yeah, so this year, for the better part of my year, I think the first 4 months I went through therapy. I confronted my darkest fears, I confronted myself, I found my inner child, I found that Regina that was hidden under the pressures of the society and the pressures of everyone else. I found the actual person me, and that was a really interesting part of my life because when I was able to fish out the actual Regina, it was so scary because it was that young, naive. I remember back then I was so outgoing. I still am. I talk to people a lot, but right now I'm more reserved. I'm more into taking a sit back and being in my space more than I was back then. I realized that that was a coping mechanism because I thought that being very outgoing, being very bubbly, will hide a lot. But now that I'm getting more and more comfortable with myself, I have gotten my true character, which only happened through therapy. Therapy, guys. That's one thing I'm going to really be keen on, to sensitize in this video, because I feel like us as young people, we have that notion that when you go through therapy, you're going through therapy because you are sick, yani wewe wazimu, lakini not really. I think therapy helps. If you get a good therapist, they help you face your darkest fears, they help you see your toxic traits. We usually think, for example, in a relationship, msichana semanga, oh, I did everything for this guy, and the guy's like, oh, I did everything for that girl. But at the end of the day, maybe there was some toxicity, that arose between the both of you. But since you're playing a game of a blame game, you never you always think you're on the right side. You always think, I did what I could, I did whatever and whatever. But now I have come to terms with the fact that I do make mistakes. And even if I do make mistakes, it is okay for me to make mistakes. I may be perfect in God, but in this human flesh, there's so much imperfection. So that means I have room for mistakes. But these mistakes are not intentional mistakes. No, these are mistakes that happen, sometimes intentional, sometimes very unintentional. And I have learned to be very kind to myself. I have learned to be very loving to myself. I have learned to cut myself some slack. And yeah, for the better part of the year, I took my time off. I started figuring a lot of things out about myself. Took a time off from dating, from men, from everything, everything society, and pulled back and now concentrated on Regina. Who is this Regina? Who is this person? Sometimes I think there's a question that you guys should also ask yourselves. Without your friends, without your gang, without your squad, without your girlfriend, without your boyfriend, without alcohol, without weed, without all that, who are you? If we remove all that and you're left alone, can you be able to stand strong enough alone? Or is Yani, do you need all that for you to stand? You understand? Are you getting what I'm meaning? So I learned now, I learned that I am as important as other people. Sometimes we we lose track in sight of ourselves and get lost in this in this era of 20 dunda. We give zero facts. We don't care. We're outside here living life YOLO and all that, and we forget that at the end of the day, when all of those things are removed, it is you, yani, you are left alone. And I know you guys really relate to me, because after your friends are gone, after umelewa umeamka asubuhi, you're very sober, trust me, it is you alone, baby. It is ni wewe tu, ni wewe peke yako. So now I'm in a better place. I'm more conscious of myself. This week, actually, I am not this week, last week I actually turned an year older. And for the first time in a very long time, I had an anxiety attack, because I'm the kind of person that really plans her life. And you think you have figured it all out. And by the age I am now, there are things I had written on my vision board, and I'm like, by the time I'm this age, I want to have accomplished this and this and that. And now when I was going through that and looking at what I had accomplished and what I had not accomplished, what I had not accomplished was so much than what I had accomplished. And that drowned me. Actually, I dreaded even turning an year older instead of being very excited. But when you go to people, you're like, yay, but like when you really sit back and really think about it and look at the goals, the dreams and the achievements you wanted to have made at the age I am in right now. Not that I'm that old, I'm not. I'm just saying I plan. And I remember, like, I think it was yesterday when I sat down with my mom and we had a talk, and she went upright and she was like, the problem with you people is you set these goals, and you set these very good, ambitious, and very nice goals, but the problem comes whereby you want to rush the process. And when I really sat down and really thought about it, and I was like, oh yeah, that really makes sense, because it's not that I have not made steps to those goals. It just happens that at the age I thought I would have accomplished some of those things, I have not, but I'm in the journey to accomplishing them, and that is the most important fact. And so then I realized to, like, take a chill pill and give myself more grace and give myself more credit and be okay with. And I have stopped setting. Yani, I'm not saying that setting time limits is not bad. It's bad, but for me personally, I think I have stopped completely timing myself to my ambitions, to my goals. I think that as long as I have made a step, I think that will be enough for me. As long as I have seen that I have grown, I have matured from the Regina I was, a few months ago to now. As long as I am being the best version of myself yet, I think I will give myself more grace. And one thing I want to tell you guys is, like, you see, this mental health journey. One of the things I have also learned is that the world is not fair. It is not fair. Whether you're a good person, whether it doesn't care. The world is not fair. And since it's not fair, you need to accept that the world is not fair. And it won't be fair for you because it is not. And since it is not, you have to be okay with winning, losing. You have to be okay with going through the things that life will have to put you through. But what matters is, at the end of the day, what are the lessons you have come out with? Have you come out as a better version of Regina, or as a worse version of yourself? And I think the goal we need to be aiming in everything. People think that it is always about the highs, but I think for me, since I've been also on my lows, I have learned that to appreciate the moments I'm in my lows, because it's through those moments that I learn so much things. It's through those moments that I learn who are even my friends. It's through those moments that my inner self is, exposed the most, and it's through those moments that I'm most vulnerable. And for me, vulnerability is quite scary. I really don't like being that vulnerable to people or to anyone. I think that's why I'm single, I guess. But being I'm now starting to learn to appreciate vulnerability and to be okay with being vulnerable, because vulnerability can also be strength. And vulnerability does not mean you going crying everywhere. Say it clearly, Klamani. Please. It means being okay with being your lowest form, and being okay and knowing that yes, I'm allowed to cry in my space. I'm allowed to go through what I'm going through, but that does not define who I am. It's just life, and life has to life. Period. And yeah, so I am back. I'm hoping to bring you awesome, beautiful content. Please go to my comments. Please tell me what content you also want me to bring. What of mental health do you want me to bring? What conversations do you want to have? Relationships in, we can have conversations like relationships in mental, in healthy relationships, in quotes, with people in a very healthy mindset. We can have so much conversation about friendships. How do you have healthy friendships? Because I feel like friendships are so overrated. But you tell me. For me, I feel like friendships are so overrated. So we can have certain conversations around such things, and we can be able to demystify certain stereotypes that have been put, and we can be able to bring up a world whereby we're able to embrace mental health, not only for women but for men. So we're gonna be doing both things. Please go to my comments. Tell me what you're expecting. Tell me what to bring. I will be here to deliver. I am back, and this time I'm back for good. I'm in a very better headspace. I'm in a very, good mood. I'm in a very, I'm in a mood whereby I feel like we need to have these conversations and have them as open as possible, and to be able to demystify the thing of mental health being such, something that is, it is normal to be mentally ill. It is normal also to be mentally healthy. It is normal not to be toxic. Please. Wasichana wa toxic. I like toxic guys. It is okay not to be toxic. And actually, and we'll have these conversations. So can't wait for what I have in store for you. Anyway, it was awesome being back here. Please guys, don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share my content. See you when you see me. Have a blessed week. I'm hoping to be doing content, to be shooting twice a week. So we'll see what it gets. We'll see what it gives. Okay, but anyway, it was an honor. Can't wait. And you bye.